You talked about it earlier, Seven, and that's a very important point. They are not a team that's renowned for their momentum. I want to see them build something bigger around this game. If they can do so, get maybe not even another win, just another top 3 and try and get some extra eliminations here and there. That is what is missing from Na'Vi, and I want to see them step up in that regard.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned confidence, because in that last game, we actually saw something really big. We saw Star Wars and Godlike. We saw them being able to take the fight, and we actually saw Godlike being able to...
There's going to be Na'Vi, and we're going to see that split actually, Seven. That was so well executed, the way they regrouped, and as you mentioned also, how they took that position and that little bit of an extra breathing space towards that late game was just so well executed on their end.
Yeah, it was perfect with Matic as well.
Na'Vi. I think it's them. Tell.
Well, it's
It's them.
Wait, what? Okay, yeah. Well, you know what? Let's actually talk about what we saw from earlier from Matic. He was able to hold that compound. He was able to maintain that, and he was able to relay any information to his teammates that were actually towards the top. And as soon as they realized, hey, you know what? We don't have to worry from the south. There's currently not any teams coming to attack us. So why not? You guys push up to where you were and use that height advantage to our advantage, pretty much.
Yeah, I think their position's a little bit wrong. Like, they're a little bit further down south to really display what was happening here in this circle. They had that split, and this is the moment that they understood. We are going to regroup in that position where Matic is currently playing, which is a strong compound. Not many teams had an opportunity to contest that position, so just instantly regroup, play from that position, wait for the numbers to dwindle, as I mentioned earlier. And the moment you know you got that man advantage for sure, that's when you start moving out, that's when you start fragging out, and that's when you try and confirm that win.
And this is what we want to see out of Na'Vi, right? We want them to be able to put themselves in a position so they can actually showcase their skills. We know they have some amazing players where they're able to frag out. We just haven't been able to see it. And this is perfect right here. Using that height advantage. Boy, I wish I had a little bit more height in my life. I'm really sure.
You got you another box there, come on.
But yeah, with Na'Vi, I mean, I would personally love to see more stuff out of this. This is the impressive Na'Vi that we enjoy seeing. And we've only seen it one time. Hopefully they can carry that momentum.
I think the important thing to keep in mind, though, for Na'Vi is they have had a very lackluster performance so far.
I saw the first light, the first steps. Now I see much more. I capture Earth in all its beauty. I see action. I see drama. And I see it in the finest detail. Moments of inspiration. And the first steps. I am the 1+9.
All right, well, welcome back here while we get things ready to go for our final match here of our very first day of play. I'm just waiting for this one day to just zoom in so far, just hit Max in the face. That would be hilarious. Just Captain Max spending several gaming there on the end to start to talk about this last game. And as we ended things off talking about confidence, we're to come back to that yet again here going into the last match. Now, obviously for these teams, very important to have a decent final match, because if you have a bad game, then you're going to be thinking about that all night long, right? And for some of these teams, they desperately start to need it. As we mentioned before, Na'Vi jumping up to only 9th place off of that victory. 25 points, and then we get up to 9th place. That's really a true telling of how unfortunate they have been so far in this event. But a lot of the teams out there, I want to see some big plays out of them. I want to see, again, maybe a repeat out of some teams. Maybe see Stalwart get a second chicken dinner. Who knows? They started things off with one.
Yeah.
Could they finish off is always going to be the question in my head.
Yeah, I mean, one of the teams that I would like to see step up big time here would be Team Secret. That was my prediction of earlier. Didn't have time to talk about it just yet, but this is a team that has so much history to them. You have High Shots, you have also Matoy that's been mentioned a few times, that you don't have many players that played every single world tournament like a PMGC, and yet they did it in 2019, 2020, and now in 2021. So they have not performed as to what you would initially expect from a roster that stacked with so much history, and I need to see potentially them able to bookend it with a good result. But from what we've seen so far today, they don't even get remotely close to those wins, so you need to get consistently to that late game if possible.
Yeah, I think for me, the team that I'm going to have to go with is going to be Fenerbahce. I called them out earlier. Nothing has happened with them. Honestly, this is a huge shock for me with how they were able to play during Wesley, during the West Finals. This was a team that was very consistent. Even if they didn't get chicken dinners, right? They were at least able to get those consistency top placements. They were actually starting to work on their elim strats. They were actually able to frag out even more and push themselves a little bit higher, maintain themselves within those top 6 for the West. But right now, we just haven't seen anything out of them.
Yeah, we haven't seen much out of them, unfortunately. But again, there's still time. There's still plenty of time to do so, though the chance to actually, to be able to do that is starting to dwindle away. But you know what, Max? I do have a question for you, and I trust you with this answer.
Oh.
Who's one of our lovely sponsors here at PMGC?
OnePlus?
Ooh. Okay, but what's so great about the OnePlus?
It's the OnePlus.
120 hertz.
Got good luck with that. I'm not going to break.
The OnePlus 9 Pro gives you smoothest gaming experience with 90 FPS. It's not that big in real life, though. It would be amazing if it was, because I could fit my pocket, but I would carry it on my back with me, and I would probably finally be able to play PubG Mobile correctly, because I'm just terrible at it. I need every single out here sponsoring PMGC. They did in the league stage, didn't hear the finals. Maybe they'll sponsor us personally one day. Who knows?
I know why you're sending this. I'm waiting for mine. It's coming.
It's in the mail.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's in the mail.
Yeah.
It's in the mail. Yeah. But it was sent to my address, so unfortunate for you.
Oh.
But maybe we can actually get our teams to watch here a little bit earlier than normal, because I feel like we can really go into this a little bit more than we have in the past. And for you, Max, you already talked about them. I want you to finish off the conversation.
I'm going to go on Stalwart for this one. For this last game. Stalwart, yeah, I mean, they started off with a win. I would like to see a bookend here with another win, right? And we're going to break the curse of that third placer, Jason, eventually. So get in second place. I'll be happy to see it.
I'm the exact same. I want to be able to... I picked the same team, Stalwart Esports. I want them to finish off on a win as well. I feel like that win, and then they ended up with the 13th place with only just one elim. It's not really what I'm expecting to be out of a championship team. If they can finish off here with a win, I think it would be great as well.
Yeah, for me, I actually went with Navi, because I don't want them to be a spark in the pan or whatever that saying is. Yes, it's great they had a victory last match, but for me, it's more about, can they replicate a performance like that? They don't have to win, but I want to see them get really far into the match. I want to see them pick up some good eliminations, because I feel like for them, winning and then going back to losing again and the status they've been doing so far would be a big hit to confidence.
I think I would take a top 5 for them as a win. Even if they don't actually get the win, a top 5 with at least maybe call it 3 elims, that would be a win for me, because it's completely different than what we're used to seeing. They get a win and then they end up with the 10th place, 13th place. That's just not going to work here if they want to challenge for that championship.
Yeah, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but back to the point you mentioned earlier, right? Momentum. We need to see them try and build something upon a big win like this. If it's their morality that's feeling really good after that game, like, okay, we just got a big win, let's try and build something upon that. I think that is the mentality we need to see from this team. A top 5, I said, I agree. If they get top 5, that's a win in my books. They'll be looking good.
Also, a special mention to Nova. I mean, let's not play this down, right? They're the defending champions of PMGC 2020. They've been a little bit lackluster, though they've been kind of hovering around decent performances, but they've not had a breakthrough performance to propel them forward into first place and to take home another title.
They're doing the exact same that they did last year. They're taking their time, they're gathering information, they're dissecting that data, and tomorrow, especially going into the last day, we're going to see a completely different Nova.
Okay, I figured out what it was. Flash in the pan. I'm pretty sure John Allen was going to correct me if I didn't do it myself, so let's head on over to him, and of course, Blank.
And so then I said, you know, Jason, you just can't... Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hi, guys. Welcome to Erangel. Actually, it was Blank who was getting more aggy about the flash in the pan in the backstage. I'm going to throw you under the bus.
Outing me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't believe you're outing me about that. I was only getting aggy because you were attacking Jason and I was defending his honor in that moment.
It's true.
It's true. We are checking out the final game of the day here today on our angle, which will close out our first day of the PMGC Grand Finals. Remember, there's only 3 days here total, so tomorrow is going to be even more critical for a lot of these teams, setting themselves up with a good base of operations, a good amount of solid points to really make that run for the big prize money on that final day. But today is all about setting that foundation for yourself here and getting ready to blast off tomorrow.
A plane from the east down to the southwest. Zucky and North Georgia a little bit further afield than maybe some of the teams would like, but everybody dropping on out for the final game of the day. Team Secret, though, unfazed up to Severny.
Straight up there, I mean, you know, we did see them play towards Kameshki quite a few times, but Team Secret's starting to strike out just a little wee bit here. So it's good to see Fenerbahce over towards farm side, taking up that position, gives them a lot of control early on around Milta, around those bridge areas on that eastern side. So Stalwart going to be a little bit careful about that one. But we do get this western shift down towards that southwest side, which has a lot of water in it currently, and a lot of Sosnovka as well, practically half of it. And in that situation, you know, you're looking at this, and you're almost certain that it's not going to head towards Sosnovka. So you will get a mass exodus over towards Gatka region. But this starts off well for Nova here, and perhaps Jason might just be able to see Nova do a little bit better in this game, because definitely we couldn't count them out for the last game. They had some great off angles. Paraboy was playing out of his mind. So potentially, here's a good chance for Nova to start picking up some points here. Only sat in 5th place, so it's a good position to start from.
I mean, you know, they've been fizzling, they've been sputtering, they've been sparking just a little bit, but they haven't flashed just yet, you know? So we're waiting for that. We're waiting for that big spark flash fizzle combo.
You had to go even harder, didn't you? You just had to do it. Yeah. You can't help yourself in these situations, unfortunately. But yeah, oh well. But
hey, you make fun of my spear, I'll make fun.
No one's making fun of your spear, dear. Come on, just leave it out. Leave it out. Anyway,
I appreciate the rhyme.
Looking back at the game, we got Stalwart again down towards. I can't. Yeah, we go. I can see him again now. Down towards Novarapnoya at the moment. Obviously, quite the ways out currently. I can no longer see them again. That's fine. Oh. Doesn't matter. I'm getting a nice overview of the map right now. That's cool. Back on board. We also have a couple more teams down here. Navi's actually dropped down towards Sosnovka, as well as the Infinities. It's going to make it even harder for the Infinity to leave this region. With S2G holding out and Navi front-loading this one, you've got a double guard going on, so the Infinity might struggle to move out of this location. And with today, to be quite honest, you're not being hugely confident with their elimination power. It's a bit of a struggle. Again, big shout out to you guys at home. 1 million are watching right now. So pick up your 1,200 tokens over at www.pubgmobile.com/redeem. That's / and get those great awards for yourself, because honestly, they are really cool. They are really, really cool.
Oh, when I remember watching TV as a child, and whenever they would put a link for whatever they were doing on the screen, and they would say / and I was like, that's the coolest thing that anyone could ever say. And now we get to say it, Blank. How lucky are we? I know you nearly said it. You put it back in. I was like, you know what? He knows what's up.
Yeah, you know, I just wanted to get it out quick and then, you know, make the reference afterwards. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Anyway, looking at the map, there are a fair few teams off towards that eastern side currently. We do see 628 playing down towards Quarry side, which is very, very typical for this team. S2G are currently on a 2-2 split at the moment, down towards Ferry Pier and off towards the south side of Pachinki on yellows. So they have a fair bit of ground to cover, but right now they should be safe. There's roads, paths available to them to regroup nice and quick, which I think they are currently doing now.
And more gaming on the train. Moving down southwest, Nova waiting in the wings. Alpha 7, they didn't have the best of times with that plane path, obviously liking to drop out to that northwest, but at the moment they're just rolling across the hillsides right now. Not too many meds on board for Garena. Doesn't even have body armor as well, so a little bit light on loot for Alpha 7.
I mean, this team kind of needs to get a little bit of a move on again, because they're starting to slip on the standings. You know, 6th place, it's not a bad position, but you come off what was absolutely fantastic performance over towards that West League, practically blowing everyone out of the water in that region. You know, 6th place is not really good enough, in my opinion. I think this team should be at least in the top 3 by the end of the first day, but right now we're seeing them 3 places down from even sitting on the bottom of that podium. So a little bit interesting for me so far, and I do think, you know, there has been a bit of an issue with the sales here, maybe tattered a little bit, the confidence not quite there anymore. I do think that needs to be slight improvement from this team. Still 41 points, still very, very good. That could easily all change tomorrow once Alpha 7 has a bit of better grip on the current region, the way that everyone's playing in this, the kind of rotations people are going for. That's what I'm looking for tomorrow.
Looking for adaptation, looking for better grips, I guess. There we go.
Yeah.
See Lord gripping onto that mobile there. Down the bottom side of the screen. Enigma Galaxy. I mean, they have tumbled a little bit. They're still on 60 points. I mean, that's still a great total for this first day. Even if they don't get any points here, that would put them at a 10-point average on the nose. So it's still a good, solid performance in terms of just raw money-earning potential, if nothing else.
Yeah, exactly. I think that the main point I tried to make before I got grippy and slippy towards the end of that little analogy was that, you know, it's just not a position I expected them to be in. And I think that things can change quite easily and quite quickly with the way that the point distribution currently is. I don't think anyone's like far and away ahead of everyone else, especially with that last game with Enigma Galaxy going out early, next Ruya going out early as well. It's really given an opportunity for these teams to start catching up. I think for Stalwart, that was the biggest winner in my eyes, especially for that team, because even playing with 2, they managed to get to that 5th place, which has secured them a nice points total down towards that 3rd place, where they could have easily slipped off the podium.
Dangerous waters for them. A couple of teams have headed central. I mean, Damwon and Nova probably the most closely fought right now. Enigma Galaxy sent through earlier, and 628 as well. The crossing from the Infinity has started to come through as Na'Vi got out of the way in the meantime, and Fenerbahce have actually moved S2G a little bit further out west.
Well, S2G, you know, keeping it big chilling on that coastal side by Ferry Pier. Right now, it's this fight between Damwon Gaming and Nova that interests me most, because this is very akin to what we usually see from Damwon Gaming, at least recently, is a very quick exchange towards that central position of the map. Let's go for an A. King takes it right on the feet there, blows up in his face. That's a great start for the fight here for Damwon Gaming, and then they can start to try and push the advantage a little bit further. Paraboy tries to head towards that position, gets the smoke out in hand.
Clean knock there, but King moving down that hillside, getting back towards the rest of the team, but in comes Junie. The forward guard getting rattled just a little bit and sprayed down. A nice hold on that push against Damwon as they step a little bit too far forward. They weren't prepared for those off angles. You can see Fabian there getting peppered away. Paraboy looks for the shots with the DP. He gets back in the buggy. I'm not sure about that one, Fabian, but he's got to go down behind that position. Now Paraboy moves on for more.
Paraboy?
He is not waiting around, not hanging about for anyone, and Damwon Gaming are going to suffer fatal consequences.
An unbelievable fight coming through here for Paraboy. Takes down 3, won't get the full squad wipe, but what more can you ask for from the star player coming through from Nova? Really good stuff, and not only does that secure them that team fight, it secures them a very good central position on the map. And with Damwon being sent away to that northern side where teams are trying to find a little bit of a foothold, it's only really a matter of time before that final player gets picked up from Damwon. So honestly, really, really well played there to you boys from Nova.
You see, now getting a cheeky little flush there on the northwestern edge. Godlike and 4 rivals close to one another. And speaking of footholds, Blank, on the south side, the Infinity have managed to cross fully, and they're now actually taking a little bit of a crash over towards Fenerbahce's position, but there's plenty of fighting going on in Gatka Fields in the meantime. Godlike moving in towards Gatka Main. Zepu pops the nade around the side, but Jonathan is in first and caught without gun in hand. Tries to hit the drop, but it's not going to be fast enough on the weapon swap. Finds yet another flash for Godlike.
Godlike made this one look a little bit easy. With Forest coming through as well. Taking down one of the players off in the distance. Now it's just Lift remaining for this team. I don't know for how long. Doesn't look too happy about it.
Do they know he's up on this balcony? They're scanning all the buildings. Jonathan being careful. being tentative, spraying down the door, and yeah, they're going to know now. They know exactly where this guy's playing. So much damage being poured on through, and it's Clutch God to deal the final blow. Eliminations taken away. 3 now total for Godlike in Gekka.
Nice fight comes through from the Infinity to at least keep the boys from S2G back for a little bit longer, as well as Fenerbahce. But I think S2G set up this fight very nicely for themselves going forward, especially their positioning right now, circling around the Infinity, trying to clean up the scraps from this previous fight that just occurred. Mela just sends off to the distance, managed to keep himself in cover, but Silas might just be able to take some shots, but Mela's just a little bit too quick on the draw there.
But Na'Vi are coming across the bridge in the meantime as well, so Mela has to be careful in this position on the south. The rest of Infinity probably going to be looking to back it up. Mela should know that Tixie's here, and the rest of Na'Vi are going to be paying attention to this position as well. Shots raining in, and Matic has a beautiful angle. The question is, how long can Tixie last? Probably going to have to fall back to the building.
Mela behind the buggy, still shots coming through, and Matic will take him down. Nice and easy there. Just a couple of DP shots, Seb's on a dinner plate. Your boys are in full right now towards the south side of the island. We move away from Sosnovka, and now Na'Vi can start to keep that momentum going. Like I said, they need to fan the fires, keep that bonfire lit, because we know how good these guys are. And if they can finish today on a strong note, coming in tomorrow, you know, that 9th place could easily change.
I mean, they didn't. They started, I think, in sort of 11th place in the game before that, and obviously doing so well in the last one. They've catapulted all the way up and looking good to challenge all the way up towards 4th position, potentially. I mean, a 5-point differential, sorry, 6-point differential between them and Infinity. You can see 9th to 4th, a very, very tight field in the middle. And you were talking about that sort of, that peloton, right? That middling pack that is so, so tightly knit. And it's worth so much money to climb towards the top of.
Yeah, it's easy to trip up over other people towards the middle of that peloton where everyone's fighting so hard. Damwon Gaming's final player in Forest trying to hold back the time from Team Secret. Managed to send Jumper back. Damwon, as far as here, looking like a 4-man team at the moment, but Jumper looks like he's got his number. Looks to throw a nade over the top.
Kid as well on the angle, watching for the run out. Jumper with a nade right into the perfect position, but Forest is out wide. Doesn't go down, but there's 4 players from Team Secret. And Forest falls back. He gets out of the ditch.
Stalwart, I mean, they've found their way in on that western bridge too, but they do take a knock. How much further they can get here, but they are up against Na'Vi at least. Now Team Secret just looking to finish out this final player. Down 1. Not much longer to live here for them, I don't suppose.
Forest is still biding time, waits for the swing, but it's not going to work. Fredo finds the final down 1 player, and they will be going down and out. 7th place at the moment, 39 plus 1, so 40 points going in right now.
Stalwart lose one of the place to Na'Vi here. Beautiful nade comes through. Godlike once again, trying to go up against 628. It's either way. Nox coming through. Clutchgod does get flushed, and now only down to 3. 628 still have an opportunity to bring that player back up into action. Godlike very much in the midst at the moment.
31 elims for next Ruya. That's nuts. 11 more than Nigma Galaxy. And 41.9% of those coming from Frozen? I mean, it's insane.
It's pretty nutty, right? This guy has been on fire today despite the name. Honestly, next Ruya, despite them being in 1st place, we're still waiting for a little bit more from them. Here on our angle, stuck center on the ridge sides, looking for any opportunity to move into this circle. Nova still with 4, though, after that brilliant start to their game earlier.
Doing pretty well. 628, I mean, they have lost a player a little bit earlier on those hillsides. Alpha 7 now starting to be a part of this conversation on the hillside at the top of Godlike. And Zigod sending in towards Yu Yang here. 33Z on the backup as well. And there should be backup coming through from Godlike, but that's a low HP player right there. Yu Yang drops the nade at the feet, and it's actually Zigod who takes both of them down. It's 2-team Nox. It's disaster for Godlike. These nades have not been playing well for them today, Blank. Maybe they should keep the pins in next time.
I think so. I think it's so awkward as well when you've got a guy jumping around the corner, you've got a nade in hand, you see a nade at your feet, you drop it right in front of yourselves, blow both the teammates up in that situation. So just playing under pressure there, Z-God lets it get the better of him. Unfortunate stuff, and 6-8 live to fight another day, yet they are on this southwest edge. So still got further to move in. Next year though, this circle actually favors them, as well as Furious Gaming in a nice compound towards the northeast, but a lot of teams still have to make their way in. Nova looking to hold out that western side. Still a lot of field in this final circle, so slightly awkward to play. You can see S2G just trying to make their way through the wheat fields.
Enigma Galaxy as well, regrouping towards the top of the hillside. Right next to Ruya. Maybe looking to take that top spot back. Only 6 points separate them right now. So they'll be hanging on for that one. No one really making that first move. Fenerbahce low, close by. The Infinity split up as well in the fields. Godtani and Logan playing separate positions. Blank, Godtani made an incredible play in the East League from a field cabin, from a field shack. We'll see if they can repeat it.
I think it's where they tend to play very well here, back of one another. I do think when they lose Godtani, a lot of that confidence kind of just slips away. I like the ebbing tide for this team, so really they do need to keep that boy back up in an action. Eagles, right, getting in my face there. But hopefully it's the beak from 6-8 that finds its mark here versus S2G, but it's the nades instead.
Oh my goodness me. What can you do? You're just completely left out in the open there. Eliminations coming on through thick and fast. 7 now on the cards for 6-8. A really solid total. Down in 10th at the moment. Looking to jump up a little bit higher. Plenty of highest eliminations so far in the lobby.
I mean, that's just 6-8 as 2 players decimating the entirety of S2G there, and that's the danger of playing in a shack. It's just so easy to lay the heavy ordnance down. Godtani goes down, and that is not what you want to see from this team. Na'Vi making that one happen. Enigma Galaxy, they were in a slight scuffle with next Ruya. First place and second place respectively. Fenerbahce also looking towards the position, but it's Team Secret taking down 2 here, hopefully.
Team Secret and Alpha 7 on this northern edge, and Enigma Galaxy retreating from this fight. Alpha 7 take first blood there into the fight, and a nade comes in the back. Team Secret taking some flak back, but it's not going to quite break them just yet.
Looking at Team Secret, they're going to have to back off of this one. Next Ruya has a good position with the smokes and the trees to actually pick up both their players, get back into position. Godlike does go down. It will be them seen back up to 22 points. That in 14th place currently. It's not a great place to be. Again, all these players just trying to warm up to this massive field of incredible teams. Not to say that Godlike is not an incredible team either. The amount of experience coming through from that team is unreal, and it really does feel like a match made in heaven.
Strays down from next Ruya. Team Secret still holding on. Still have Kid a little bit further out for the backup. The core 3 on the forefront now. Next Ruya going to have to move towards Enigma Galaxy. One of whom is knocked at the moment, but very resible in their position right now.
Alpha 7 taking their time, John, on this western side. Actually able to chime into this fight, which is great news for them. Ringing the bell of death for Team Secret. See if they can get away from this one, but the more I think it's Alpha 7 looking like they are on top. Kids off in the distance could prove to be a bit of an issue, but now they start to move in. And I think if they can dismount Team Secret from this spot, potentially there's a chance here for Alpha 7.
An opening, a sliver, a glimmer of hope, but is it enough? Will they realize that hope, that desire, as the crash comes through? 1, 2 falls, and the third pacing around as Carrillo looking to stand tall. And will be able to find Kid on the off angle, but iShots moves on in, and they want to wipe out Alpha 7. This threat at their back to be able to take on next Ruya, and Carrillo will go down. That's Alpha 7 eliminated. 3 players for Team Secret to move on forwards past this bastion.
Really good stuff coming through from Team Secret there to hold off versus Alpha 7, and not good news for Alpha 7 at all. You know, the best of the best coming through from West, losing against Team Secret, who we've always felt like kind of was a lukewarm pick over towards the East League. You know, they've really started to bring it back, and I was a massive fan of the Team Secret roster changes, but it feels like finally they're starting to glue together now and make those massive performances actually reality.
A knock over towards Nova slows them down on the south side of Enigma Galaxy, and it couldn't come at a better time for them. Knock sent over. 2 of them are down right now, and they have to be worried about Na'Vi, so no great pushes coming on through for Nova on the south.
Again, though, Na'Vi playing from the south. Great position for them. Played it last game over towards Miramar, starting to make the sweep. And it's a great identification quite early on because we are seeing a massive amount of players over towards that northern side of the map. Nova takes a fair heavy hit there. Lord, the last remaining player here for Enigma Galaxy. 2 players from Nova, and they're trying to send it in because they can feel these players starting to get back up on their feet.
Team Secret finally eliminated now, and next Ruya have an open path to this next circle. Enigma Galaxy looking to put back the pieces as Ralph getting res. Nova slowed down with a couple of knocks coming on through. 6-2-8 behind Nova, slowing them down. Fenerbahce still in the middle there. Furious Gaming in the compounds that they've had, in the buildings that they have controlled, get the shift towards them again.
This is great news for Furious Gaming. They can continue to hold on to this spot. And if it didn't have a compound here, perhaps there'd be players sending shots back towards their way. But with this compound, it just gives them free reign over the circle going forward. DXAVA down towards that south side of them on the east. Probably their biggest threat. Enigma Galaxy back up on their feet with all players to a respectable amount of health. Amodi takes a big hit. Nova's just hanging on by a thread.
Paraboy crawling out wide. Should be able to spot 33Z pretty soon. The question is, what is he looking at? He drops up out of the tickle of the blue. Might have seen 33Z there, not sure.
I think they both missed each other by a mark, you know. You saw 33Z look the other way and Paraboy look the other way at the same time. So it's kind of just one of those gentlemen's agreements not to take each other down. You know, Nova really needs this time. Amodi goes down, Enigma Galaxy tries to send away, and I think this is the smart thing to do in this moment. You know, getting a few more placement points is really good for you.
Jimmy sends around, distracts Amodi, and the rest of the team is there to pick up the pieces. They moved through, and Ralph down on the front. It's just Lord now for Enigma Galaxy. His next Ruya, they're down to 1 as well, so this push through for Nova could look even better to move straight on in, and in goes the crash. Jimmy runs him down, and it's Lord taken out. Nova 4 players strong. They want this top spot.
I mean, they've been hanging on by a thread, but that thread must be made out of Kevlar because, Jesus Christ, this has been one hell of a run from Nova. You know, it felt like it could have been over at any moment in time, but it's never over for Nova.
DXAVA on the south side. Nova on the west. Furious Gaming on the northeast, and they haven't really had to do too much so far. They've been pretty good at holding this corner, but they will have to leave it. Pretty certainly. Fenerbahce does get spotted, and more eliminations going over to the Nova tally.
8 so far. A really good elimination count for them. Order's moving up forward. Tries to look for more of these players. Rebellion out in the midst. Could cause problems, but he's quickly dispatched by Paraboy. Makes a mockery of his position now. DXAVA off in the distance. Will be holding pretty. Was just on a warpath.
Lamborghini gets spotted out. Paraboy able to take that knock easily. More damage pouring on through. Furious Gaming, in the meantime, have used this opportunity to move out into the fields. Very solid decision-making there. But Nova into the double digits on the elims.
This is unbelievable stuff at the moment. The reigning champions looking like they deserve to reign here. Boosters on board, but not many meds. Realistically, these eliminations mean a lot more to Nova than you might think because the actual loot they'll drop from these players is going to be incredibly important to Nova's endgame.
But look at this. Furious Gaming, in the meantime, they've taken control of this next circle. This next phase is theirs. Frankie, I wonder how many meds he has. Stuck bleeds out.
Frankie remains now. We have a pretty clear idea of where he's hiding. Furious Gaming not opting to take any initiative here. Instead, Just take the zone itself, which I guess is initiative in of itself, but they're not looking to clear out Nova as of yet. Very smart stuff here. Get behind the loot crate, get a bit of cover available for yourself, and put any other team in this circle in an awkward scenario, because they've got these forward scouts, they've got the members in the back that can play flank with some really good cover available to them. I think Furious Gaming is in a beautiful position.
They just have to leverage it. Bottom of the table's not where you want to be. As Frankie goes down. Another elimination. 13 total so far for Nova. I think with the guaranteed 12 points as well, they might just see themselves towards the top of the tables at the end of the first day. It's going to be close. Furious game.
One way to end it. One way to end it. If you are the reigning champions, you want to be on top on that first day. Strike fear into the hearts of the other teams. Strike fear they have. I mean, they've had their way with quite a few of them in this circle, giving them nightmares. Furious Gaming looking to be next, but with the skull as the logo, this is also a team to be feared from the west. They've given up these back positions though. I'm not sure about this.
They're looking to suppress this line, but they're allowing Order to get this sideswipe. They don't have cover on that angle anymore, Blank, as you say. They've given up that backwards position. Shots going both ways and damage is good.
Order's running
breaks out and he gets to the tree. This is crucial positioning now, Blank.
This causes so many problems in the pipeworks now for Furious Gaming. You can see them start to panic, throwing nades over towards the position, but he's too far out, and now Nova just need to creep their way in. Order has to wait for an opportunity, though. That's the big problem, because they're playing downhill. Circle doesn't really favor the guys from Nova. Happy goes extremely low.